Hi everybody, Jim Ostrowski here. We're at Buffalo City Hall to talk about the resumption of fluoride in the water, and it's not going to be a long program. We just want to explain to people why we're against this. So the city sort of accidentally got rid of the fluoride, and then there was a pressure from people who are ill-informed about fluoride that it's somehow necessary for dental health, of which there's no evidence. So we're here today to explain to people why fluoride should not be in the water, and we have a couple of speakers, and then if you have any questions, we'd be happy to try to answer them. So basically, you have to understand one thing. The most of the world does not use fluoride in their water. This is just a weird thing. It's mainly in Australia and the United States. But increasingly, there's more and more towns in the United States that have gotten rid of fluoride because they've read all of the research, which we'll get into. It's not going to be a long diatribe, but we'll present you the bullet points, and the other information is out there. There's a thing called the Fluoride Action Network, where we get a lot of our information, but their information is well sourced from scholarly articles and medical journals. So 98% of Europe does not rejects fluoride. This includes Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, and a bunch of other countries you've heard of. Most of Switzerland does not do fluoride. I think the Swiss are doing pretty well. They're considered to be one of the most successful countries in the world with longevity and health, important factors. The Swiss are basically fluoride free. Most of the United Kingdom is fluoride free. So as far as whether this stuff, this toxic chemical is good for dental health, there was a major study on this, and I'm going to quote it. It's the Cochrane collaboration. There's insufficient evidence to determine whether water fluoridation results in a change in tooth decay levels. Fluoride, on the other hand, does a lot of bad stuff to the body. It's an endocrine disruptor that has a proven negative impact on the thyroid gland. Now, I personally had a thyroid problem when I was a teenager. It cost me 3 years of my life, and now I look back and I wonder was it the fluoridation in the water? Because I certainly drank a lot of water as a very active boy and teenage boy. Many studies, and this is probably the biggest point here, many studies have shown that fluoride lowers IQ in children. This has kind of been suppressed, but there's actually many studies. The most recent study was the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2019, but there's been many, many other studies. Fluoride causes dental fluorosis, which is not just a discoloring of the teeth, but it's a damaging of the structure of the tooth. So ironically, fluoride is known to damage your teeth. Fluoride is the only medicine added to public water, and this is without informed consent. And what I want to say there is there's stuff added to various things, vitamin D, whatever. Vitamin D is a nutrient. Fluoride is not a nutrient. You don't need fluoride. It's at best, a medicine for, if you put it on your teeth, there's some evidence that it will reduce cavities, but you don't have to swallow it. But in any event, it's a medicine that affects people differently. It affects pregnant women particularly, and the babies that they ultimately give birth to. So it's not something that you should be put in the water supply unless you have informed consent, which you would have before you take any medication or have any surgery. So I want to turn it over to Pam, another concerned citizen who's been fighting this issue for many years. Pam, you want to go ahead?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much for inviting me to this. My name is Pam, and I'm a resident of North Buffalo, and I've been here most of my life, and I just want to share some of the feelings that I have about the fluoride being put in the water. To me, tomorrow is going to be one of the saddest days for me in this city because they're going to be putting fluoride into our municipal water supply. People will not have a choice. We deserve to have a choice of how many chemicals we put into our body. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. Fluoride, that means that the chemical in question will affect the brain and the central nervous system. So what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your children? I'll tell you right now, I am devastated to know that there is a possibility of more children being diagnosed with ADD, more children diagnosed on the autism spectrum. When they say that something's a neurotoxin, that means that that chemical goes beyond the blood-brain barrier, gets in there, latches onto the immune system. The immune system cannot pull it out. It's a lifetime of a metal. Fluoride has an accumulative effect. So the more that you take in, it slowly changes the body's chemistry, and it slowly brings on disease. Article, facts, the research is done. It can actually hurt kidney function and bring on kidney failure, especially in our elderly population. Also, what really hurts my feelings is that many women do not have the money to buy spring water fluoride free, so they'll be cooking for their babies, cooking for their children, making formula for their babies, and we know that it reduces IQ. Not a joke. This is really real. It's really true. And once IQ goes down, it's not going to come back. I'm a retired Buffalo school teacher. The question is, how many more special ed classes can we pack into a school? Right there. Also, the fluoride that you take in your body, that is used topically on the teeth, is spit out. You brush your teeth with it, you spit it out. Imagine a sponge drinking water with fluoride. Your body is a sponge. All of your cells start to absorb these toxic chemicals. Oh, is it natural? Does it come from the earth? Heck no. You know where it comes from? It comes from the atmosphere. It's harvested from probably chemtrails. It's part of industrial waste. Oh, we got to find somewhere to put it. Let's put it in our water. Wow, great idea. So, all I can tell you is there is a family with a lawsuit in the city, or a group of people, and I would be willing to sit down with them and look at the other side of this. It was a blessing that Buffalo didn't have fluoride in its water from 2015 till tomorrow, and I hope it stops tomorrow. I hope that we forget to kind of turn it on, because this has been a vacation for us. And when you really think about chlorine is used as a sanitizer. Chlorine evaporates in the water. Chlorine's not such a big deal. Fluoride, it stays in the water, and it just keeps getting recycled year after year. It just doesn't leave. And another thing we have enough in our water is pharmaceuticals, parasites. These things don't get eliminated. So now we have fluoride to add to the mix. So I think that's about it. That's probably all I want to say, except to tell you the truth, if you know me, you know that I'm passionate, you know that I'm having a really rough day right now, to think that my community is getting poisoned. We suffer enough here in Buffalo. There's so much going on with poverty, there's so much going on with the education system. It's sad. So anyway, thank you, Jim, for letting me come on and speak.
Thanks a lot, Pam. That was fantastic. I just want to introduce Nicole. All three of us took time out of our busy day on an emergency basis to come down here. We have a lot of other things we want to do. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we are very passionate about this issue, and that's why we're here today in a little bit of drizzle in front of Buffalo City Hall when we have other things to do. So we really believe in this, and I'm going to introduce Nicole now for her comments.
Great. Thank you. All right. Hi, I'm here today as a resident in the city of Buffalo, opposed to fluoridization of Buffalo's drinking water. This is an incredibly stupid battle that the public should not need to be fighting, as it is the role of the government to work with agencies to do what is in the best interest of the public's health, not some special interests. Ample research exists about these issues of fluoride as a neurotoxin, the lack of evidence that ingesting it prevents tooth decay. In the city of Buffalo, there are many factors impacting health, such as nutritional issues that need to be addressed rather than an ad hoc mass medication of the population. One major concern about mass medication of the population through drinking supply is to medicate people that have dosages. If someone drinks 8 glasses of water a day, they have 1 dose of chloride. If they have a different volume because they need to drink more for other reasons, or drink or consume through fluorinated foods, they're going to have another dosage of fluoride. This is unacceptable for people to not have control over the volume of drugs they will be consuming aligned with their water. Someone's body may react differently to some volumes, and this is medical malpractice in a way, to take amount any way in any quantity. It's just wrong in my book. And today we're in a city where it's raining, and how we have bypassed more critical needs for protecting our drinking water through much needed infrastructure such as combined sewer overflows and lead in our pipes is really concerning that those issues aren't being vetted. Just a select few corporate interests are superseding some of the most critical issues to our drinking water. So thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, that was excellent. Thank you. I'm just going to add a couple of brief closing remarks. So tomorrow in Buffalo, there's going to be a toxic chemical in the water. I would suggest you go out getting a filter. I've had a filter for years. I didn't even know there wasn't fluoride, but it filters out other stuff. But I'm so glad I have that anti-fluoride filter for tomorrow's drinking water, so that I'm not poisoned by this crap. I just want to point out that we did a lot of research today. I have a flyer, true, but I have like loads of research. This isn't a conspiracy theory. When they want to discredit something, they call it a conspiracy theory. So Kennedy's group, Children's Health Defense, did a major study. Granted, they have a little bias, I admit that. But I have a scientific study here, scientific reports, 2018. Fluoride elevates thyroid hormones. Again, that's the problem that I had that stole 3 years of my life. And was it the fluoride? I don't know. Why should we have to find out about these things later on? Fluoride exposure may increase the risk of hypothyroidism in pregnant women. Pregnant women, please. If we get anything out of this, we know we're not going to change the minds of the dunderheads in Silly Hall. I mean, let's be honest. My group, libertymovement.org, believes in direct action. You can take direct action. You can filter out your water, or get a Walter. If you have a couple of extra bucks, filter out all the water in your house. I can't afford it, but I can afford a little pitcher for clean water. And what's really concerning, again, pregnant women, babies. I mean, the things that we did to make sure our 2 kids came out healthy, you have no idea. So this, even though my kids are grown, I'm just so concerned about this. And please, pregnant women, women with young children, please educate yourself about this. Association, just a couple more studies, just so you know that we're not bluffing here. Okay, we know what we're talking about. Association between maternal fluoride exposure during pregnancy and IQ scores in offspring in Canada. Journal of the American Medical Association, that's 5 years ago. And why are these clowns putting this crap in our water supply? By the way, if you're in the rest of Erie County, you're already getting fluoride. Did you know that? Erie County's already getting fluoride. It's just Buffalo that had this accidental health benefit of not having fluoride for a few years. It's nuts. You can't make this stuff up. And then finally, this is the study, Cochrane collaboration. No firm evidence that it even helps tooth decay. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not an expert on dentistry at all, but I am an anti-sugar advocate. And I think if people just stop feeding their kids all this garbage sugar, which we greatly restricted for our 2 kids, and maybe, brushing your teeth every once in a while, instead of lazily assuming that the government's going to come to your rescue with this pretend solution to dental problems. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I want to thank Pam and Nicole for coming today. And we'll post this video For more information, go to Children's Defense Fund or the Fluoride Action Network. All the studies are there. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening today, and please share.